Well, a couple of exciting few days, and look, the Prime Minister's already ditched and what they call it, the bonfire, some of those policies. In fact, they're not ditched, they're actually on standby to go later on. So, Vaughan, I understand you did a poll, and by goodness, wasn't the results interesting?
Oh, kia ora, Max. Yeah, look, it was a simple poll, and the question just went like this: who do you trust? Labor, National, or neither? Labor performed very poorly, always does on LinkedIn. It's a right-leaning platform, so you know, no surprise there. But the big news was that 40% of the people who responded to it, this is going to go over 1,000 votes before the end of the day, do not trust. 40%. Hear that, Max? Do not trust Labor or National. And Max, this is supporting my thinking, and I'll start with this. Do you know when sometimes you're in a room with other people and one of them will start yawning and then the other people start yawning too? I believe that's New Zealand major party politics right now. Both Labor and National are a bit of a big fat yawn. It's rubbing off on the voting public. That to start with. Would you agree with that, Max, that there's jaundice out there?
Well, I got to say, I'm shocked. I'm shocked with the poll. 40%, folks. It is an enormous amount of people who are not confident with either party. So that's a really indictment on National at the moment. And look, the other thing National have always said is, look, wait till 3 months before before the election, and we'll release our policies. But right now, it's stale, boring, and there's nothing happening there. And Vaughan, yeah, it's. I'm quite surprised though that people are not staying with them out of loyalty or as an alternative.
Yeah. So in terms of the major parties having an issue where there's 40% conscientious objectors saying actually neither of you are appetizing for us, the sorry state of affairs is actually hardly surprising. Just have a good close look at our major parties. Many of our politicians look like they are blowback leftovers from the 1980s. And some of them somehow have found themselves singing for their supper in politics. Experts in 88, dinosaurs in 2023. So the voting public definitely are switching off. And seriously, Max, what that means is there's currently a vacuum and opportunity for the next shiny bright thing in politics. Who will it be? What is it? And I'll leave you with this thought, Max. To not think in evolutionary terms is to not think at all. And over the past 2 decades, our major parties have not evolved at the same rate that our country has evolved. We've changed a lot these last 20 years. And if you want to see empirical evidence of that, and as usual, I'm 100% right on this point, go to any National Party or Labor Party luncheon. You'd be forgiven that you'd taken a wrong turn and ended up in a bloody rest home. A sea of grey heads, average age of 80. Labor and National are going to need to find new song sheets because they are losing their audience. So when a poll of over 1,000 people, 40% say they don't trust either of the major parties, that is the political equivalent of a big fat fire in your kitchen. Time to dial 111 and reach for the defibrillator. Mate, so that's my lot over and out.
Well, I would agree with you, Vaughan, because particularly us small business people, we can't afford not to vote, folks, because otherwise we're going to get more of the same. So you really do need to vote. But look, be selective with your vote, because out there right now, Vaughan's right. There's no policies coming and there's nothing to stimulate us or actually attract us to it, excepting one party. I find the ACT Party. Do you know, almost every day they're putting out releases and there's policies coming out all the time. Good example was school truancy. Bang, they put out a solution. Not just to moan and groan and say it's disgusting, but actually solution. That's what you want to look at, folks. And look, you've got a long way to go before the election, but have a good look at them all.
And Max, to give credit where it's due, in terms of the ACT Party, as a Māori, I'll never vote for ACT, but what I'll give David Seymour and ACT, energy, bringing it, tenacity. He is the most effective politician in Wellington, and he is singing hard for his supper and deserves attention just for that. You know, A for effort for David Seymour.